Thanks. Well, now that our dress rehearsal is over, welcome back to another episode of The 12, our epic campaign of discovery and adventure across the continent of Corvair. This story will stream live Sundays around 6 p.m. Central here on Javelin Entertainment, and if you missed the last session, you can check it out on our channel page or by clicking the link down in the description.
Last time, our brave band, the Iron Horizon, were racing through the twisting tunnels to rescue a captive man by the name of Felix. But what they found was no simple hostage scene, oh no. Looming in the flickering torchlight stood a brutal orc chieftain, a slavering mind flayer, and a mysterious figure draped in purple and gold, known only as Deacon Cain. Thinking quickly, or perhaps foolishly, Boko the Brash-bashing-bot rushed into danger, hoping to draw the mind flayer's psychic wrath away from his friends. The blast hit like a thunderclap, but Boko was not to be Broko today, and brought his own pain right back. Meanwhile, Morien unleashed a devastating spell of her own, but that devilishly Deacon merely smiled and twisted that magic in midair, hurling it right back at our heroes. Then, as calm as a cat in a canary shop, he stepped down from his dais and froze poor Boko with a single touch. The Mind Flayer's tentacles coiled around Boko's head, hungry for a taste of his brain. But as doom loomed, our Soulkeeper leapt to his rescue, boxing and batting the creature away before it could crack down upon that skull. The battle raged on. Golden missiles of light from Deacon streaked through the air, searing flesh. Some headed directly towards Rhea for a killing blow, but gallant Renny the Resplendent Rhymester threw himself into harm's way to protect her. With a defiant cry, he unleashed a storm of enchanted cards, slicing through the ranks of their foes, and felling even the Mind Flayer itself. But as the smoke cleared, Deacon was gone, slipped back into the shadow. Amidst the chaos, the Shalt the Storm touched, fought against an intellect devour, a vile brain with legs, folks, and bad manners besides. Nearly overcome, the Shalt suddenly felt the pulse of power from the storm well surge within him, sending his enemies flying like leaves in a tempest. Javelin fought down the orc chieftain Grumshar, and with grim finality dashed his skull against the stone, drawing his soul into a necklace. But in that victory the tide turned. Another brain creature struck, and Javelin fell, her mind pulled into a catatonic stillness, from which none could wake her. With their friend unresponsive and the air thick with loss, Renny tried to keep spirits high, humming a shaky tune while Boko scoured the chamber for meaning amidst the ruin. And meaning he did find, a strange gear-like object shaped from Biesk, pulled from the fallen Mind Flayer, and near it, runes upon an arch that whispered of portals yet unopened. Then Morien's questions spurred Boko to action. Desperate for answers, they performed a ritual of blood and shadow. Their own life's essence spilled into a crimson pool as they reached across the veil, and the soul of Grumshar answered. But not alone. Another figure, cloaked in night and mystery, opened the gate to escort that soul through. Meanwhile, far above, Roland was having a rough night of his own. Having just rejected the dubious offer from Zane, he found himself face to face with two figures in the dark, blades gleaming, murder in their eyes. What secrets lie in Grumshar's mind? Will Javelin ever be reclaimed, or will they be lost forever? And what will happen to Roland in the city above? Let's tune in and find out.
Alright, this time for real.
Mission accomplished.
We'll get there.
The dress rehearsal was effectively so much better the second time.
Oh, man. Okay, so back down here in the sewers. Boko and Morien, the two of you are in the midst of this ritual, cross-legged upon the stone, still briefly after the battle had ensued, but a pool of blood encircling you at where you sit, having both cut yourselves in order to pass through this ritual and try and find the soul of this orcish chieftain, this Grumshar that Javelin had trapped into her necklace before going and falling catatonic. You have now, in the midst of this ritual, seen some sort of shadowy male figure open up a gate and guide through a soul. This angry green flame. Not so much a shape or a specter, but just an essence that resides in front of you now, Boko. This tempest is held in place by your will alone in this moment. What are you and Morien trying to do now that you have this soul?
Does the shadowy physical form look familiar?
Give me a perception check, I think.
The escorteur, not the escortee.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good.
There is something so familiar in its shape and its form. There is like this nagging in the back of your mind. And Morien, you catch Boko drifting and focused on this figure when you feel like the whole point was this soul that is now bound. And you kind of have to try and get his attention because he's transfixed by this figure that still waits by the edge of this veil. And Morien, you almost worry that Boko has lost himself in the very dangers that he warned you about. But Boko, that knacking at the back of your mind, it's not quite connecting. There's something there, but you can't quite place it.
Boko sort of pushes the thought out of his mind for a moment. Turns to Morien. Anything that you can glean, please do so now.
Mechanically, is my detect thoughts going to get me anywhere?
One way to find out.
Given how experienced I am with it?
Yeah, you can certainly detect the presence in front of you.
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do it that way. I meant to cast it. So I'm going to do that. And I am going to push through deeper. I'm not. I might glance briefly at surface thoughts in quotes, but I'm gonna almost immediately go deeper. I might brush by. No, I can't. Never mind.
And what's the DC for this?
Good question. 16.
16. Morien, you feel as you brush by these thoughts, there is... It's almost like an anger, but it's rather than pure rage, it is this intensity, this strong force of will that is intermixed of some frustration at having fallen in battle, and yet some elation at being guided to something that they believe is even better. There is some relief of having done everything that they could and been brought down in battle. And as you dive deeper into this mind, as you start to weave your way through, you feel almost as if you are pressing your body through that hot coal. There is just this warm sensation that almost turns to a burning before you break through that finer barrier, and you feel like you have some access to the mind underneath, but it still flickers and burns like a ember of a fire.
Okay. My telepathy it does not seem to include concentration. So I wish to, because it's not a spell, it's a class ability. I wish to link back to Boko, but I wish to kind of veil it so that hopefully to protect Boko from the burning. And basically, because I don't know what Boko is looking for, so I'm sort of opening a channel so that I can follow what Boko's questions are to this in order to know what I'm looking for as I dig for info.
Do you make your presence known in my mind's eye?
Yes, there's actually a discreet little knocking.
Boko...
And a pause for consent.
Boko is going to flash something into your mind. It's something that he hopes might work, but just images essentially of you standing ahead of him, interrogating this figure. The words coming out of your mouth almost like they're a script written by somebody else, but threatening this soul and its final resting place. Boko standing behind you, emphasizing every word you say, essentially threatening this figure that their soul will be lost forever if they do not comply.
Morien will consent and sort of rest back on Boko and be essentially a puppet, allowing Boku's will through.
Morien, you feel your form kind of step through these flames here, and you are greeted by a presence that is large, this imposing green flame that is bearing down.
Who comes to this place? My sanctity infected.
Boko, what do I feel like I'm saying?
I think Boko and Morien sort of stand simultaneously. Their actions mimicked in each other. And as Boko's mouth moves, the words come from Morien, essentially.
Yep.
And they say together, questions have been left unanswered. You carry with you things we must know. Should you fail to provide these, your soul will never know rest. It will be lost to the void forever.
And actually, as that comes through Morien, the lost to the void part, the soul will never know rest, lost to the void, they lean forward a little bit, and you get kind of the glow from the eyes with particular emphasis. So Morien adds a little drama to that point. And full conviction. So they say this with full conviction, having seen what Boko can do.
Boko, can you give me an intimidation check with advantage?
Do you want to do that, or do you want a Boko, or do you want to prompt Morien to be?
Am I allowed to use the help action on Morien to do that?
I'll say since you two are doing this together, you can choose to do it whichever way you would like. Yes.
Because I know that
probably be
Boko's
better.
not very intimidating. I mean, Morien's not hugely intimidating, but I'm not Boko.
As you are the mouthpiece, Boko is sort of causing these purple flames to sort of orbit around us to emphasize your points.
Ooh, we're both adding drama. Love it.
There is this moment where this massive green fire that is the manifestation of the spirit, you can see that it starts to falter and flicker. You have found something particularly poignant to them, that as you've watched these emotions and feelings passing by, it is important to them that their soul goes to reside somewhere beyond, somewhere that they believe they've earned. You feel this fear that you've tied into, especially having bound and pulled out the soul that Jasira had. You have this moment where perhaps you can get something from the soul, or try and persuade or intimidate it into giving you information, but you're uncertain how long it will last here.
You come to this place and threaten me? Then what do you want to know?
Together they will say, "The rest of your fate is within your control. Speak of the Mind Flayer and the explosions within the city. Tangible things you have left behind. They carry no weight in your future journeys. If we are satisfied, your soul will be unshackled."
This alien, this Nihilor that lorded over us, but a piece of what I fear. There have always been creatures of the dark within dusk, but these monstrosities go beyond. They do not provide us safety. They see us just like every other warm blood around them, as insects to dissect and consume. I resent the days that Nihilor and his kind were brought into our sacred organization. They are unwanted, but they have earned a place that I am not able to cut them down. For our leadership has found them useful in ways that I will never understand. They put them to practice deep within the sewers on the edge of the underground mountain, to something darker than even I am willing to encounter. If you can rid the world of their kind, then let the Doombringer's blessings flow upon you. For not only were you strong enough to have ended my line, but you can destroy those creatures from their untoward existence.
Boko or Morien, I'd like you to give me one more intimidation or persuasion check.
I'll back you up.
Morien is switching to persuasion.
Kind of sensing this shift and pulling on this connection that this individual seems to have to whatever entity they follow, this entity known as the Doombringer. You play into their haughty demeanor and their pride, and they begin to tell you other tales, and you hear him start just,
as far as the fire that consumed the horizon, the young child came to me with questions of how the Doombringer had blessed my tribes with the purifying flame. I gave our secrets of how one might expand upon the devastation, the doom that might be wrought from certain alchemical reagents. And it was a beauty to behold. I never thought anything of him with his weak pink flesh, but he proved resilient and conniving. That display upon the horizon was more than I could have expected. But these blessings are not something that Dusk is capable of. They come from the Doombringer themselves. Boons blessed only to my mind's eye for my service.
Did he say young child?
That's how they were referring to whoever
Yep.
they're talking about.
What kind of sense does Morien get from Boko? Are you sort of pulling back a little bit, or are you focused on driving forward?
Boko is locked in now on the small child, and you have a unique insight onto Boko at the moment, and he is focused on what the story is saying, and he is driven to find out who caused this. But something about the alchemy also really piques his interest. So Boko will hold a hand out, and in that hand there is a small gem, a locket. And I imagine outside of the spirit realm it would look like a normal piece of jewelry, but in here there's something about it. There's an aura. It seems to be connected to this green flame. And Boko and Morien together will say, "Tell us of the child."
What you wish to know of a puny human man. They can be strong in mind, but are weak of body. The Doombringer requires both to see true manifestations. I must believe that the Doombringer had understood the purpose to bless the conflagration so. Or the man is a gifted chemist.
Where would we find them?
Give me another persuasion check, Morien. This one just flat.
Nice.
Your paltry questions anger me, and I wish to join my lord on the other side, in the Ashen Plains. If you must know, this man, he comes and brings us gifts, the soothing narcotics that bring effervescent dreams. Though I doubt he will be forthcoming if what we are doing here is altered or ended by your own hand. Perhaps He has already disappeared like smoke on the wind.
Are we able to catch any kind of visual from this memory, given that we're in the mind, which isn't always strictly language?
Yeah, and you've got detect thoughts up, and he's failed the save. Morien, you see pretty clearly this shaved, thin, lithe man in the long gilded coat, a small dagger on his hip. This is definitely Zane.
Working with Galreth to bring them the dreamy dream drugs.
Yep, the Dream Lily.
Morien, there's a shift in Morien, and a veil is pulled across, dimming Boko's impression. So, very much weakening the bond to Boko.
And Boko is satisfied with the question, so puts no resistance to any change.
Boko, you feel on your side, you had this clarity on the scene, but it now gets hazy and foggy. Your ability to speak and lead the questioning becomes difficult and haphazard, and your ability to read responses becomes almost non-existent. To you, it feels almost as if the connection to this soul may be faltering.
And Morien is looking for Grimshaw's. What Grimshaw is seeking. Is Grimshaw seeking glory? What is Grimshaw anticipating and looking forward to as they step over the threshold into the next life or whatever?
From what you can see from their emotions and their responses, they are prideful and they thrive in a balance between mental and physical strength. They see themselves as the champion of their patron and that they have earned reward of some kind. Though this description of the Ashen Plains, it's not necessarily a area of wealth and relaxation, but rather where those who have earned their place are able to be put to the true test by this patron.
And we were seeing their memory of, and were Zane and the child the same thing, or is the child the Doombringer?
Yeah, so he's referring to child as young man. So he thinks of humans as weak and small.
Right.
And
right,
so
right.
Zane
so
is
Zane.
young, but not an actual child.
Right, but the image on that was the Doombringer was one thing, and the child in the image was Zane.
Yes.
Do I have that right?
Yes. The
Okay.
Doombringer seems to be
Is the
Grumshar's patron. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then, this is Grimshaw's memory of Zane. This is an image of their memory.
Correct.
All right. So, go ahead.
You would get the sense that Boko is ready to terminate the connection with this soul, but doesn't appear to be going to end the ritual yet.
Okay.
As his attention is now drawn back towards the shadowy figure at the threshold.
Morien, is there anything you're
Do
doing?
Do I sense that we can keep the link to the being at the threshold if they release Grimshaw? Or is Grimshaw a necessary part of this?
You're not really sure.
At this point.
Yeah, this is a realm that
I'm
you're
going
not completely foreign to, but is a process that is all new.
Okay, so I'm going to keep the veil on the other side of Grimshaw to sort of prevent Grimshaw from going for a minute as we turn to the Guardian.
So you try your best to kind of hold this flame here, and you can feel this barrier around you and the flame, this green strength just kind of shifting now.
You tried to hold me here after I've answered your questions. None may contain a champion of true doom.
And it begins to burn and shine. And Morien, you're trying to hold this here as best you can. Boko, in this moment, you kind of cut off your focus from what's happening inside the soul and shifted to this other figure. What are you trying to do here?
Boko, essentially, from his understanding, is holding the final anchor that is keeping Grimshaw here. And as this figure that has escorted him here, Boko shifts his hand over to point at that figure and says,
you get a brief thought from Morien. Be quick.
Here's the final anchor that holds him here. You may take it with you. And he wants to try to hopefully get a better look at this figure as they claim the anchor.
Give me one more perception check here. As the green flame burns through Morien's containment, the soul begins to lift and race out through the door.
Wait, hold on. Do my arcane eyes work here?
Yes?
I should get advantage if it's vision based.
Okay.
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, good.
Better.
That's okay.
As this green flame races by, you see this figure. They're a shadow, but there is something different. They're not a dark shade or specter. They are a bright spirit, and there's almost this blue or purple glow that they emanate off. It's cool and soothing rather than the heat of the fire from Grumshar. And just as they're beginning to pass, you just catch this shock of white hair as they fade out into the veil.
Is this a small sort of masculine figure?
Elaborate on small. It is masculine.
Is this Kogi the priest?
No, you don't get a sense that this is something elderly. This spirit seems not young, but certainly not... It doesn't carry the wisdom of many, many years of priestly or monk practice. This is something else. But as it drifts and closes the sight to the veil, the specters and shades around you continuing to swarm and move.
Is this one of the motherfuckers that was operating on me?
The veil begins to close around you, Boko, and you pull shut the last bit of this ritual, drawing you and Morien back. And
son of a bitch!
For but a brief moment for everyone around, these two are brought back in near death conditions as they have lost immense amounts of blood.
You guys doing all right?
Boko collapses down to the floor. Boko only knows of 3 important white-haired figures. One is the prosthesis-wielding experimenter that is beneath the estate. One is the fucking guy from the pirate ship. I forgot what his name is, but he was the creepy guy that was like on the hand.
Yeah.
Helped me originally make the soul harvester.
Yeah.
And then one of the people who was operating on me was the final one. All of which are bad news.
Well, that's true, as does Alma. But you're
what
not
happened?
masculine. You're not male.
Wait, is somebody
It did
talking? I can't hear
specify
anybody.
male. It's in the roll 20.
Put it in the chat.
Oh, I was like, wait, I can't hear anybody. Oh yeah, Jasira is also white hair and important, but it also is bad news if you're in the fucking spirit world too.
It's actually her mother.
Oh gods.
So as Boko and Morien are collapsing and need some assistance, are the rest of you working to find your way to the surface, or is there anything you want to do down within this space still?
Hey, I don't like it down here that much. I would not be opposed to leaving.
No, if no one else has a reason to stay, Clyde does not want to spend any more time in the sewer. He's had enough. I agree.
I could do with a rest.
All right. The Schultz.
If we can bring Jasira to the hospice, perhaps they can lend us aid in helping to restore her.
Well, it ain't gonna hurt. If worse comes to worse, I'm sure we can get her to at least pronounce bang, and then she can make delicious food for the rest of her life, at least.
How much intelligence is required to help make buns in the shop?
All you have to do is say bang. All you have to do is be able to say bang.
Oh, I think we can get her to do that, I think.
All right, we have a job if worse comes to worse.
We have free
I
labor.
have a feeling we're gonna tell her to pronounce bang if she's gonna pronounce it pop pop.
I'll fix everything into delicious popcorn.
No, you can just now appeal to the vegan crowd because you have buns made by a vegetable.
Oh, fuck. God damn. Wait.
So with
Jesus Christ. She's already dead.
I've been floating in and out of consciousness because I am sick, but that was the funniest thing I've heard.
I'm glad you enjoyed that, Sam. So as Thishalt kind of on one shoulder props up Jasira with Boko and some others, and on the other shoulder kind of has Felix propped up with Renny helping him, you all begin to wind your way back towards the sewers to try and find a way out into the surface. And thus, that brings us back to the other half of our...
The other half of the party, one member.
The other half
Equal.
of our story, perhaps.
The other 0.07.
0.07.
I'm just saying.
Roland, you had just flipped the bird to Zane and given him a slam of the door in his face. When you were kind of finding yourself back at what was supposed to be ease within the seventh eye. However, here the flickering torches have now caught glinting metal of two strange figures. And you've seen these entities before. One of them chased after you at the estate. They almost have this chitinous-like armor and these masks that come over across their helm with these large circular discs where their eyes should be. And these two entities have blades at the ready. You have
Are they the Dalekeer blades?
You actually look, and one of them has what looks to be one of those daggers similar to the Dalekeer dagger that that Boko had. The other actually has, they're almost like these hooked blades joined by this chain between the two.
Oh, you're screwed. You're fighting a badass.
Hope they don't have bonus action dash.
You have but a moment here. If there is any
I
start that you
remember
want.
how hard these fuckers were inside the mansion. I'm out. Full headlong tilt to add the nearest window to get out.
So not
The
the
nearest window that is not through them. Not
So-
the door that Zane is right behind. No,
Let me.
because I saw him at Galreth's as well.
Actual card.
But I'm gonna full out spaghetti western myself through a window and
You're gonna get Looney Tune. It was just a painted on window.
Just a painted on window. So you see in this room, so you're kind of in the main area. You have one of these figures off to your left, one of them off to your right. There's the door right behind you, about 5-10 feet away. There's a window right to the left of the one on your left, and there's a window about halfway between you and the one on your right, and another window behind the one on your right. I'm assuming you're trying to get to that closest window, get through, and get away.
yes, as long as it's not pointed at Zane.
Okay. It's so Zane is out on the street. All of these windows face the street, so it's not like
Okay.
you came through the door. Going through the window is probably a safer bet, but it's still going to be in his direction.
Gotcha. There's no window to an alley. Got it.
Yeah, you guys are on the alley, so all of the openings open out into this singular alley within.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go.
All right, so then I am going to go ahead and we'll start by bringing you over here for some initiative. And I'll say within here, you do have advantage on this initiative roll.
Home turf
Okay.
advantage.
Ooh.
If I have advantage, can I get sneak attack on the roll?
Can I get sneak attack on the roll?
You're not Lilith. You can't get sneak attack on your fucking initiative.
Let me see if I've got anything that helps initiative. I don't think I do. I think that's one of any number of clerics I've played. Nah, okay.
I still find Lilith intimidating, just saying.
Understandably so.
Ah, lovely. I just love that fucking 4, don't I?
Did you
Change it.
Okay, I was like,
There we
did you
go.
get it?
It's better.
Okay, okay, better, much better.
That's that brief moment of hesitation before. Ha!
Yeah.
And-
Good
Whew.
die.
I mean,
Are you fucking kidding me?
okay, so yeah, I rolled a 19 on the die for one of them. I apologize.
Oh no.
So did I. Bugger off.
You good? I guess. So you have this moment to try and split towards the window here on the one on the right. But the one on the left immediately kind of senses your position and begins to kind of move in your direction. So as you kind of go towards this window, are we bashing through athletics, or are we trying to flip it open, slide, or backflip acrobatically out the window? How are we trying to do this here?
Definitely acrobatics.
Okay.
Just trying to like get a get a hand out, pop it open, and then just kind of do a tuck and roll through it in the same motion as the lift.
Okay, then honest question to edit the DC here is Roland / the people that own the seventh eye, people that are likely to lock their windows on the inside. Doesn't make it impossible, but it will affect the DC. My thought is yes, but
Yes.
I'll leave it up to you. Okay. So yeah, then go ahead and give me an acrobatics check here. It's really about trying to get that latch open and that window open as quick as possible before this other entity can get close to you. And you guys have close enough initiative that you've got a moment, but it's not much.
Yeah. How did they get in? Because we also would have locked the door.
Well, these latches are locked from the inside, so even if they had gotten in, they could have easily closed things behind them.
Yeah, but would they have relocked it after getting in through the window? Okay. I don't have time to cast guidance. Yeah. Okay.
So you immediately go to dash forward to the right. You jump over this table and slide open, hit the latch of the window and shove it up, kind of popping out into the street. And in that quick moment, one of them is right on your heels, beginning to do the same types of maneuvers. I'll say with that is probably most of your motion, as well as an interact with object. What else would you like to do?
I mean, I'm making the most of having a little bit of a start and bonus action dash.
So I want to say that interact with object is an action, if I remember
It is
right?
not.
Okay.
It is its own separate thing.
What is the thief ability do?
You can open a door and attack someone on the same turn.
Thief is do it twice.
Thief is you can pick locks as a bonus action instead of as an action. And
like the thief
in Baldur's
Well,
Gate, it gives you 2 bonus actions.
bonus actions.
Yeah,
Or it's sleight of
It's-
hand as a bonus action.
regardless,
as
it's
opposed
not-
to an action.
it's
is the
not
thief thing.
too relevant here. I don't think it should be a problem. I was just curious. So as you begin to kind of hit the ground, hit the stone, and begin to race off into the distance, these 2 individuals are hot on your heels as they begin to race along. And you remember that from the last time that you had combated these individuals, you're not able to gain much distance on them working at speed, because they pretty much match your speed, whether they have the same abilities or are just fast.
Yeah, they were on top of our fucking cart when we were running away.
And
That's fine. As long as I'm ahead of them, I'm gonna head for a more populated area and see if I can make my way to the hospice.
And I will say that one of them is going to they're not able to get at you with their blades, but they do send out what looks to be a small little dart in your direction, and you just duck out of the way as it flies over as you're trying to guide and wrap around these buildings. And Roland, I'll say, just with kind of being aware of this, you see the one behind begin to split off and look for an alternative route.
Okay.
What's next?
I'm not trusting to anything but speed at the moment. So I just get to a major thoroughfare and where there might be guards around to see me get attacked. At the moment, I'm leaning into being a citizen in trouble.
A citizen in trouble.
I know this is rare for me in one of your campaigns, but usually I am a citizen that is the trouble.
Help!
Yeah.
Help me.
This is new, actually. Been not running from the guards. But yeah, no, I'm getting out of the alleyway into more open spaces because I'm a gunslinger. do better with range.
Yeah, go ahead and give me either a history or survival check to either navigate the streets or remember the best path to get towards where you're trying to go in this cityscape.
Oh, definitely history. Roland is absolutely the type of autistic to have like counted the steps down each alleyway.
Know these steps back and forth.
And that's a 3.
Unfortunately for you, Roland has played this exact scenario over and over in his
I
head
mean, honestly,
multiple times.
probably.
And with a 3, that's still a 12.
All right, let's see. So, you know these streets well. These are. This is close to Troll Skull Alley, and you are well familiar with the best ways to get away. And you're trying to navigate them, but these entities are fast and are clearly trained. And you know that any place that you've thought of an ambush, you suddenly see the other one kind of passing across the rooftops there. Any type of place where you go where you think you could get an advantage on speed, the other one is able to keep up and dodge whatever obstacles you toss behind, crates or kind of different pieces of debris behind you. And it is late in the evening. This city never sleeps, but the lower you are towards the ground, the quieter that it can get. And until you get to kind of the high road, you're going to be lucky to find anyone, much less a guard. And so you know you have to get there as fast as you can. Give me a athletics check here just to kind of press through as far as the speed and endurance, trying to keep ahead of these individuals.
Okay. I've had one roll above a 5 all night.
What does this look like for Roland as the tension of this moment gets to his physical body and puts him in at a disadvantage here?
I mean, his stamina is in patience, not action. So like he's in a dead sprint and just, you know, butt of the rifle is clipping on the side of a doorway and slowing him down. The tails of the long coat are snagging on barrels as he passes, and just every piece that makes him stumble and take an extra step where he didn't want to shorten his stride, looking for where the other one is and then smacking into something. It's slowly the level of composure is dropping, in that he knows what he's doing, but he's starting to realize that he knows he can't do it.
As you slam a shoulder into a doorway, trying to cut it just close enough to get an extra step, it allows just enough of a closure that the one right behind you is able to get in close enough with a dagger, and you feel the dagger bite into your back here. You are going to take 8 points of piercing damage.
Jeez.
5 points of poison damage. And I need you to make a charisma saving throw. Sorry, this is a wisdom saving throw for this one.
Thank you. There's a 4-point difference between those two.
Yep, I just misread the block. I was looking at something else.
Oh my gosh, I cannot roll tonight.
As you
Well,
That's
you did
seriously
roll an eight there.
I rolled a 4, the 19 on initiative, and then the 13 on acrobatics, but yeah, and then a 3, a 1, like.
You feel the bite of this blade as you begin to wobble.
Yes, I am aware, Cars, that the last one's an 8.
And as your vision begins to blur here slightly, things begin to get harder and harder. As you're making your next few checks, they are going to be at disadvantage as some sort of poison has seeped into your mind. It is now affecting your brain. You're still ahead, but you're falling behind here in this race. And you know if you let up even for a moment, that these two could end things for you. It is now do or die as you race to try and get to the high road in time. Go ahead and describe to me, how are you trying to make up this final push to get to some semblance of a chance.
Since this guy's already caught me, I no longer have the speed advantage. I'm going to turn and send out a command spell, which I have through my domain as a cleric, and tell him to flee.
Can you paste that spell for me?
Wisdom save DC 14.
And Roland, can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
Sure. Hey, there we go. Finally.
You remember that these entities were nigh immune to mental engagements because they were essentially husks.
Okay.
They're moving bodies, and so if you would like to change your action, you can.
Okay. Well, fuck me.
They're about to.
I mean, if that's the last thing you want to do.
Guys, please stop. I'm serious. They're husks, then they're unlikely to have a charisma. So I'll try Insightful Manipulator. See if I can stun one. That's the best I got.
That is a yeah, give me your roll.
Let me guess, you rolled a 19 again.
Not exactly. So that is a hole in the defenses, where you can give yourself or another creature a bonus on attack rolls against this creature equal to your intelligence until the end of your next turn.
Great. The least valuable one on the list.
And again, you can always choose an option below if you would like. Yeah.
Yep. I will step it down to the favored stance. Learn the creature's resistances, vulnerabilities, and immunities.
They are resistant to psychic and poison. They are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. And they have immunity to non-physical magic under 6th level.
Alright, so that was a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Bless on myself to try and help with saving throws and keep pushing.
Okay. You give yourself a bit of energy into here and continue to push. As you try and race towards the road, are you trying to sprint for a straight shot, or are you trying to use some of your other capacities to gain an advantage here?
Definitely the other capacities, because the sprinting isn't working.
All right, what does that look like?
Just in this sprint, I'm gonna pull off the patch, the eye patch, the foresight patch.
Yeah.
For X-ray vision to see if I can find weak spots in walls that I can crash through.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Yeah, give me an investigation check. Now, this is at disadvantage, but with the eye it would be at advantage, so it's just a flat roll.
Okay.
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 You take this Hail Mary, kind of using this X-ray vision, looking for something. You find a little thatch replacement wall where somebody is building a patch and break through, busting into the interior, and it certainly throws them for a loop as they kind of are caught on the outside here. They have some visual through the windows, but you've also got a bit of a break in this space as you are able to gain a bit of advantage. Are you trying to continue straight through the house, or are you trying to readjust while you have this moment of slight visual break?
From what I remember of these folks, were they able to track regardless of appearance? Or did visual appearance throw them off? Because if I remember correctly, I was able to move with fair impunity within the mansion by taking different forms.
You remember that they saw through Boko's invisibility.
Yeah, but
that's
I
not
don't use
an
magic to
identity.
change my form.
Yes. They were able to see through things like invisibility, but they didn't appear to register
see through a
physical
fake
form.
nose.
Yeah, so they might be susceptible to disguises, but they are probably still going to close in on any individuals they see, so it's not a quick change and then you're fine type of thing.
Yeah.
But it can certainly give you an advantage.
Is this an occupied house at first glance going through the wall?
No, this one appears to be something that has been is in repair.
Okay. Then yeah, let's try and put some distance.
All right. Then go ahead and give me here again. You have options of either a history, acrobatics, or athletics to try and take this next leg of the journey.
Let's do acrobatics to try and get through a spot that they're gonna have trouble with.
Okay. You dive through kind of out the window, kind of off at an angle. And while one of them is kind of, the one that had been close to chasing you is kind of caught off guard, the other one across the rooftops is able to recover quickly. And you've bought yourself more than you had last, but they are hot on your heels, but ahead of you, you can start to see the lights of the high road ahead. They're going to take one more shot at you with a dart, and this one does hit.
Okay.
That is 5 points of piercing damage and 3 points of poison.
Okay.
As it kind of clips into your shoulder and you feel that starting to lug, it's starting to slow down your movements, but you're still racing towards that street. This is the
Bless is
last leg. My God. This is the last leg to try and get to your advantage. What is the last thing that you want to try here?
I can't take another hit, so I'm going to cast a healing word
Okay.
on myself to try and give me just enough to take one more hit and get into the... Thank fuck, finally a roll.
Dude, I cannot wait for you to take, like, exactly enough to go to 1 because of that. Like, it's gonna be... the
That
clutch.
more than doubled my stamina.
Oh.
So you're saying you were doing good.
Uh-huh.
And then go ahead and give me one last acrobatics, athletics, or history here to try and hit to the high road before they do.
I'm gonna try for history for any level of, like, memory of this street and a shortcut.
Yeah.
Ooh, come on, big money.
There we go. There
it is.
Bridge roll.
You're getting close to the library, and these streets are the best known to Roland.
Fuck, where's my rope?
And the one that was able to gain ground on you is elevated and has to hop down. And in that moment where it hits the ground, even though it doesn't lose much, it gives you just that little bit of edge here as they kind of have to recover for a moment, and you're able to keep them at distance. And you feel like you are just about to hit that high road. And go ahead and give me a perception check here to try and find someone who can assist or help.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fuck.
You rush through, and that vision on your brain, that poison, it's starting to blend your eyes even more. You can't see, but you just call out looking for anything. As you hit the edge of that high road, you see carriages, you see a handful of people out even this late in the day, and as these two figures begin to come through, you hear shouts and screams, but your vision isn't quite landing on anything. You're going to get one more dart here. That is a 16. What is your armor class?
16.
16. Okay, one more dart here.
Come on, healing word.
That is
Come on, healing
5
word.
points of piercing again.
Ooh.
That would have put me out.
And 2 points of poison.
I'm down to
my
exactly what I was before the healing word.
Roland, your eyes start to clear, and you do see that there are guards here that begin to respond. You watch one of them move over towards one of these assassins with the double curved blades, and they just begin to spin them around, and you see as that carves in, cutting through the chest and cutting into the arm. 2 other guards immediately begin to rush in, but there's not enough here. You're still in danger. What are you doing?
The healing word worked last time. We're gonna do one more.
Okay.
And there's my luck again.
It's fine.
That nearly doubled my hit points. Do that, and I'm on the high road.
Yeah, you are on the high road.
Let's do a quick change and try and disappear into the crowd.
Okay.
Whatever crowd is available.
This will have to be... Let's see.
Like dive
I think
behind
this will
a
be a,
carriage.
yeah, I think this will be a stealth check to try and find the right
Okay.
moment to change.
Perfect.
To try and find some way of obfuscating their view, because you still have one bearing down on you despite the other one that's in the middle of fighting these guards here.
Yep.
Come on.
Fucking ball sacks. Another 3.
Roland, you twist around to dive behind some crates, kind of crawling along the edge to where you see a break in the line of sight, kind of twisting around a building. You see a handful of crowds kind of getting out of a carriage, trying to make a break for it. You dive into the carriage, kind of shift your form ever so slightly and kind of step out the side. You see another guard that is kind of racing in your direction, trying to get sight of what's happening. What are you doing?
We're gonna start with while I'm momentarily out of sight, I don't really want to start changing in view of a guard, but just to kind of like, while I'm crawling along, hide my face and take on a different physical appearance than Roland, of just one of the faces I have stored that doesn't seem like a criminal.
That doesn't seem like a criminal.
And then have that be what I interact with the guard with, and then work from there. So that's an action to do that, and then I'm gonna get towards the guard and with the help, help.
Go ahead and give me the charisma check of your choice, however you're trying to play this. And I'll say with the situation, I'll even give you advantage here on this one.
I mean, I'm definitely trying to pass off poor random citizens, so I guess deception.
Okay.
I'm definitely not trying to intimidate the guard. 7-point difference between those two rolls, but I'm definitely not trying to intimidate the guard.
Great news, I didn't die. Bad news, I'm arrested.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh yeah!
And he said at advantage.
Yeah, if you want to go one more time.
Fair.
Aw.
Of course, there's the two good rolls.
You know what? Maybe just what you need.
Okay, all right, guys, we're taking bets now. Is the next one going to be a 3 or a 4?
I bet 18 or higher on the next
my
one.
lord.
Duality.
Give me the money.
The guard immediately comes over.
Who called the 18?
I did.
The guard immediately comes over to you, Roland. Just, what's wrong? What's going on? Where are you hurt?
They're chasing me. That way, up there.
You see, as they're looking around, and then all of a sudden a blade carves into the side of their neck. Just blood begins to spray out as you look up to see one of these assassins standing over. This guard isn't dead yet, but they are definitely wounded. And I am going to bring... Oh, I might have brought everybody, but that's fine. We're
all here, except not really.
Yeah, you might not be able to see, but it's fine. As you're standing face to face with this entity, you see another guard racing in your direction, but you're not sure how fast they will get here. In this moment, this assassin is close to you. What are you trying to do here?
Is he within melee?
He can be. He's right behind this individual, so technically he's just outside, or they're just outside of it.
Okay, so I don't have to disengage to run away.
Correct. Yes.
I'm running to the next piece of blade fodder. I mean guard.
So if you can see on here, so the assassin.
I cannot. I am still on the other one.
Wait, did you take everyone except for?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still on the shop map.
He took everyone who needed to be here.
Weird. Here, you see it now?
Nope.
I can see the entire map. Just
Yes, I do.
What is going on?
And I'm still in the 7th eye.
What?
It was all a terrible dream, Roland. Wake up.
It was all
Oh, it like separated.
There we go.
Weird. I don't know if I like that change. Okay, just a roll 20 thing, I think. So there is the guard right next to you. There's the assassin on the other side. The other guard is kind of racing from above, and then the group of guards is fighting the assassin on the bottom. And you're kind of penned in on the right by houses, but you can either try and go through houses to the left, you can go up towards the street, or you can go down towards the street. But nothing is a great option, I'll say.
How bad is the guard that just got hit?
They have a chunk out of their neck that is spewing blood. They're not dead, but they're on a timer.
Okay. Well, like, is it something that Spare the Dying would help with, or
yeah,
are they
they're not
yet?
dying, but they're certainly not going to make it through this fight.
Okay. I've done that, so bless and 2 healing words. I'm out of spells.
Oh, man.
Yep. Nope. We're gonna try and disappear through houses off to the left and see if I can pull off the quick change while in the house out of sight.
Okay. Going for another quick change here. I
I haven't executed a quick change yet.
Ah, okay. I misunderstood. You just were trying to get. Okay. So
I've done the face change, and now I want to do the clothes change.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Go ahead and trying to get away from this individual and into this house. I'm thinking this might be another stealth check here. So go ahead and give me another stealth.
It was a 3 and a 3.
You race into this room, or kind of into the house, kind of throwing the door open, trying to find some way to change, and just kind of caught in the doorway of this house. You see the blade glinting of a small dagger, that kind of wave of the coat, and Zane is just there, waiting.
Oh gosh.
How long are you gonna make this? You really want to keep running? If you ask nicely, we might even keep that throat of yours intact.
I'm gonna shoot him and bolt.
Best response.
Roland, you go and begin to raise your rifle as Zane begins to raise the knife, and you know that at this distance, you're not going to get that heavy rifle up before that knife gets out. But before you can even pull the trigger, before that knife can connect, there's something else that collides into Zane, knocking him away. You see this cloaked figure now standing where he once stood. Zane sprawled out onto the stone. As they twist over, you see that flit of red hair, the leathers underneath. You recognize this individual as the woman who helped you out last time you were chased by these creatures. And she just looks at you with a quick noise, just, we need to go now, and begins to take off down the street.
Well,
she was the one that gave us the Juggernaut Destroyer thing.
You know me, I'm a sucker for redheads. Let's go.
Hell yeah, I got it.
All right, let's see if this guy can survive. Oh, that's not great.
Redheads are also objectively the other correct decision.
As you begin to dash out into the streets, racing away from this combat, leaving Zane kind of trying to get back up onto the ground, there's a guard that you just race behind, and kind of turns to look at you, and then suddenly there's a dagger coming out of his mouth as Zane rushes by, pulls it out, and is racing in your direction. Go ahead and give me another check here, either history, athletics, or acrobatics. And now, with the help of this strange woman, you do have advantage on these checks.
Come on, baby, not 20.
I am going to do acrobatics to try and keep up with her.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Who called the 18? Who called the 18? It's me, baby. Give him and the 4.
All right, so shifting these all back. As she begins to race by, you race by. And for the now, Zane here is struggling to keep up. This woman seems to have a knowledge of this city far beyond even you. As many times as you memorize these streets, she seems to understand not only the streets, but how the people in them respond. And she's able to twist around a cart that is coming at just the right moment. She's able to understand when a door is going to open up. And is just predicting the movements of this city as well as where you need to be going. And you just kind of following, mirroring her steps, are able to be guided a hand full forward. Zane is going to take one last heave, but is out of range because of your good roll. And so his dagger on disadvantage gets a natural 1. Roland, you know Zane is going to try and take the opportunity to finish you off. You hear the whistle as he's about to let go of the blade. How do you get this last moment to egg on this individual before disappearing into the night?
Oh, a completely forgotten ability. That would have given me an advantage. I've got the time shifter's mantle. The first time that it caught me, I could have just bolted further. Well, shit. Oh well. We're going to... Hang on. I'm going to use magical tinkering.
Okay.
In order to leave a glyph on a wall, just like where he's already seen me, and the idea being basically like I make it flash as I hit the wall, and then that ends up pulling his aim, and the knife will land in this glyph, but just again of a middle finger facing back towards him, and then sprint away.
Yo, is that our .07 artificer? Hell yeah!
Literally just like slap the wall and then bing, and it's just sitting there staring at him until I choose for it to go away.
I love it.
Golf clap. He's now .08.
He's now .08. So you race into these alleys, leaving this last lingering remark. You have a slight smile before the pain starts to just cover your body, and you feel your hands starting to shake. You feel your eyes twitching. You're struggling to even keep up, and the woman kind of grabs you by the side, pulls you into a building. It's a blur, these flashes of these moments back and forth as you are guided across who knows how far in this city, and you coughing, struggling, moving, trying to regain whatever semblance of consciousness you can, and it's some time before you finally shake your head and your vision starts to clear. You're here within a small room, probably no bigger than 20 feet to a side, a single bed that you're kind of rested on, and you just look up at this individual, finally trying to gain some sort of understanding of who this almost savior for you in this moment is, now having rescued you. And the cloak is now free from her shoulders, and she kind of looks out, is watching the window as you're kind of coming to here. You see a figure that is kind of got this leather vest over her. You can see tattoos across her upper arm on both sides, but she's young, probably looks maybe 20 years old. Her skin still relatively unblemished, but her hair is tied up in these tassels and braids, and her eyes are sharp, watching the streets. And you see, now remembering kind of as you had been moving these flashes, there was a distant rumble. You see again what looks to be a flash, and a moment later, these echoing, shuddering sound. You remember before that these entities seem to explode if they're not correctly disarmed. But for the moment, her eyes and attention seem to be on the street as you're recovering here, just kind of sprawled upon this small bed.
Who are you? Excuse me, I suppose the proper initial reaction is thank you, but who are you?
That would be a much better place to start, I think. You can call me Thorn. I'm a bit of a... I don't know. I keep watch over some of these streets, trying to keep the city as in order as I can.
And certain estates, if I remember correctly.
Well, this is individuals of interest that you seem to have gotten yourself tangled in twice, despite my warnings to stay away.
To be fair, the second time they found me.
And I'm sure that was entirely by coincidence. Now she's kind of giving these comments back.
2
at you.
days from now, I would not be able to say it was, but at the current moment, yes, it's coincidence.
All right. So how far in are you?
Into what?
This whole thing, they wouldn't be coming after you if you didn't know things.
To be fair, we did tell the whole city.
How far in are you? Okay, that's not fair.
You know that I told you how to stop these things from blowing up, right?
Yes. It's my... Never mind. Far enough. For Galrath to want me dead.
Do you have anywhere else safe that you can go? They clearly know your store.
I was headed for the hospice. That's a bastion of some strength. I need to find my friends.
How do you feel? Your fingers got enough movement back in them yet?
Enough to shoot.
Well, how about run? Because we're kind of far away from the hospice right now.
I need to find my friends first before they go back to the store.
Well, how do you intend to do that?
I don't know.
Because we either go back to the store and risk running right back into whatever that was, or we go to this hospice where you think you'll be safer. But you certainly can't stay here, that's for sure.
Go look around the room for the first time. Any defining characteristics? Any view out the window to know where I am?
Give me a perception or survival check here.
Let's do survival. He's certainly in that mode right now.
So you can tell from just the vision of the architecture around. So you were in Troll Skull Alley up in the North Ward.
Mm-hmm.
You are now somewhere on the top edge of this trades ward, just to the side of the City of the Dead. So somewhere in this general realm here, which isn't too terribly far from the hospice itself, but is far enough that she clearly doesn't seem to be excited about moving with somebody who might be suffering from poison still.
Am I still suffering from poison?
You've gotten most of your faculties back, you feel like. There's still like some tingling in your extremities, but you feel for the most part recovered. You were pretty weakened to
Redheads
start
do have that effect.
You were pretty
Oh, that's good.
weakened
That's
at the
great.
start of this, and the poison itself wasn't too much. You had enough that you were already like close to being in a dangerous situation, but the amount of poison that you actually sustained was relatively low, and you were able to avoid most of the bad effects.
Okay. I'm good. I can move. Just... Fighting needs to be from a distance.
So I'll ask again, where are we going?
The hospice should have someone who can send a message. Let's get there.
All right, come on. She kind of lifts you up by your jacket, kind of pulling you up onto your feet. And it still is tingly. Your feet definitely weren't ready as you thought, but you kind of adjust them a little bit, kind of shift your weight. And she's kind of already opening the door as you begin to step out. And you kind of just get a quick glance. This room is pretty bare, but there are a handful of things in here. There's some small papers. There's a few bits of what looked to be newspapers kind of penned up, circled and marked. You catch a few things that you recognize as different articles kind of talking about the Iron Horizon and what you all have been doing around the city. You also catch one that has note of the Seventh Eye and Clyde's hot tasty buns. There's a few things that you can see that immediately catch your attention that are just familiar, but there are dozens more of different threads and pieces. This individual is keeping track of multiple different things, including you.
Okay. As she's moving away, I'm going to try and size her up and use my know their strengths feat.
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check here with this.
Okay. Of course, now that I'm in an RP situation, I'm rolling great.
Hey, at least you didn't die.
I'll say you're alive.
We were. How many hit points
You
were
even
we
have
from
all your limbs.
being captured?
I'm I got down to 5 twice.
Twice. Yeah.
I think
So
you used that healing word.
Mm-hmm.
you can sense on this individual and know that their highest ability score is dexterity. Their highest
That checks.
saving throw is also dexterity. And it's strange when you try and focus in on resistances or immunities. They certainly have... They appear to be human, but there's things that are impacting their state that you're kind of gleaning. And you see kind of numerous different items that could be magical, that could be altering what they're capable of. But physically, they appear as a human, but very, very dexterous.
Okay.
As Thorn begins to kind of lead you through the streets, it's quiet, and you thought you moved with stealth. Again, she almost seems to read the city itself. And like, you know the spots to hide, you know the shadows, but she knows when a guard is going to turn the corner. She just understands when drunkards are going to shift and turn the wrong direction. It's like, if you didn't know better, you would think that she was manipulating these people to respond like puppets. And she just moves you through the city and through the streets, and it's not fast, but it is deliberate and step by step. And you're almost in awe of how in the world these skills have been developed in someone so young. And it's maybe about 30, 45 minutes for you guys to travel what should have been a relatively short distance, but is crisscrossing through so that you don't think you were ever spotted once between there and the hospice. And we'll say, just for the heck of things, that as you were kind of maneuvering up, you see still a ways down the street, but you can see a group of individuals kind of coming down the street. You immediately see Boko and the Schult kind of lifting up, and Jasira is limp between them. Looks like she's unmoving. You see another man with a mop of kind of dirty orange hair, and you go to kind of blink a few times and then turn, and Thorn is gone.
Given her skills, I'm going to assume that if she wants to hear what comes next, she'll be able to hear this, and I'll just whisper, "Thank you. Hope to see you again when I'm in that much trouble." And then head off towards the group.
Okay. For the rest of you, you've had a long night, and it's well into the early morning as you finally drag Jasira and the others in towards the hospice. And then suddenly, Roland is just there out in the streets, and he looks just about as beat to hell as the rest of you.
Darling, I was going to say you missed on out all the fun, but
Roland just
maybe we missed.
raises a hand and puts it in her face.
There, darling, there.
And then walks to Boko. "We need to get to the hospice now."
And Roland,
I'm pretty sure that's where we're going.
yeah, Roland, you're like right next to the hospice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys kind of collided because
need
they
to
were
go to the
also
hospice.
going there.
Look, he's been through a lot, okay?
Well, and
We went through a sewer. Clyde has no sympathy.
We also smell.
Get inside.
Horrible.
Stop talking and get inside right now.
I mean, I'm moving inside.
yeah, you guys are well known enough that the heavy guard outside lets you pass without any sort of issue as you maneuver through into the hospice. The hospice is quiet but not inactive, as there are still nurses moving around. There are still a number of individuals that need care here, and with most of the hospitals already have been overflown, there might even be more from the encounters tonight that end up here.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see a young guard with his throat ripped out?
He's next door.
At the morgue of St. Vincent.
The city of the dead, yeah.
Yeah.
That is wildly unfortunate. Anyways.
Hey, at least he raided a spot in City of the Dead.
Boko is going to be looking for. Is her name Sue? What is her name?
Oh gosh, let me.
Or Alistair.
Oh, yeah. So Alistair isn't in this evening, but she definitely would be. What is her name? Hold on, let me pull up the hospice. There it is. Sensu. Yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, you.
Oh my god, I think I just got it.
You kind of leave Jasira with the Schultz to kind of watch over her as you all are kind of hanging in here and quickly find and navigate through the various nurses working until you can find Sansu, kind of bringing her over. Yes, how can I be? Oh, you all do not look so good. What happened?
What didn't?
I guess this is also going to be a story for Roland, but Boko will speak. Did they also drag the... We wanted to drag the Mind Flayer body with us as well. Because, wait, we discussed this last session because we needed that. We were going to drag this to the fucking steps of the keep and be like, hey, you better listen to what
found a
the fuck
brain
I'm
with
saying.
legs.
Yeah,
What about the head? Could we have just taken the head?
I mean, you can do either.
The head is probably more portable.
The head is probably more portable.
You can even like use the tentacles and turn it into a backpack.
You have a bag of holding, just stuff the body in there.
Oh my god.
I'm going to
Check bag of
merge
holding.
this head with the head of Gordo and gonna put the salacious helm on
No.
top of it.
No.
And put it on the spike in our fucking shop.
Salacious tentacles.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. So
we had the sky hentai, we had the sea hentai, now we have the shop hentai.
yeah. And so when Gordo goes to make those fucking offensive comments, you don't just hear them out loud, you hear them in your mind.
Oh gosh. Little shop of horrors.
Do any of you need immediate attention? You all look... What happened to these two?
I need a shower, preferably hot.
Sensu immediately moves over to Felix and to Jasira, who are the only ones who are at least not conscious.
Boko will follow Sensu to Jasira. Boko's gonna leverage... I took the skill a long time ago and I picked the hospice, but I'm hoping I can leverage something and be like, these creatures attacked her, and Boko's gonna describe the creatures. She has not awakened since.
See, I've heard tales of these creatures and their capacities. I think there are ways to restore her, but they are beyond my means. Let me see if I can get into contact, and perhaps we can find something that can be done for her. This one,
Thank
and
you.
she looks over at Felix. He seems like he just needs some time to recover. Do any of you others, do you have any serious wounds?
No.
So I have a question. I mean, I'm pretty badly hurt, but I'm not sure whether Redbeard and I would stay with the group here or whether we would split off.
That's...
They'll patch you up for cheap because of Boko.
Morien, give me a perception check at advantage.
Thank you for the advantage.
You are kind of having this thought as everyone was siphoning into the hospice. You had noticed that Redbeard was taking his leave during the chaos. If you would have liked to, you could follow him before you ever entered
Yes.
into the hospice.
Yes, I would.
Then go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Exactly stealthy. I'm a little more flamboyant.
Make a flamboyant exit.
Exactly.
Roland,
Oh, I
kind
should
of,
look at my performance. My performance is okay.
Roland kind
Go
of
ahead.
being with Boko focused on Jasira and getting her assistance. You're kind of the one ushering everyone through. And you catch sight of Morien as they're kind of moving into the streets away as they're leaving. Is there anything that you're doing, or are you headed into the hospice with the others?
I don't care about where Morien goes. I'm going into the hospice.
You all head inside as
Maybe Zane will see her with me and kill her next. That would be.
Them, darling, them.
So as
yes, sorry.
as Morien and Redbeard kind of disappear off into the city, the rest of you are in hospice. Jasira has found a bed to rest in, as is Felix, and Renner is kind of looking over Felix, worried but kind of relieved. This has been a lot, and he still looks kind of shell-shocked as he's processing it all. I have to thank you all. I don't know how we would have gotten out of all this without your help. I must admit that when you said that you were the good guys, I wasn't entirely sure if that was believable, but here we are, and you have my thanks.
You told him we were the good guys.
I did.
And you believed him.
Not at all.
He did.
This was right before he lashed an individual with a ghost whip and pulled their blood out. So no, I did not believe them for one moment.
Now get it right. It's a ghost arm and a blood whip
with teeth.
I'd
Yeah, exactly.
More
See,
items
Boko
before I
knows.
identify them.
I don't know. I got some. Well, are there any of the hospice people around, like right here?
There's definitely nurses who are working on Felix.
Oh, Clyde doesn't. Clyde's going. Well, I got some drugs actually. I found a bunch of drugs in this thing we were doing.
Of course you did.
I mean, they're mostly good drugs. I also found like mucus, poison. Found 2 knives.
Ooh.
While this is kind of happening, Boko is going to be drafting a letter at rapid speed with all of the information that they found relating to the explosion, to the Mind Flayers, to the estate, everything, and he's getting it ready to send to the detective, the dead drop that they had set up.
Are you sending it?
Tavern.
Okay, so you're sending it to the mage to get to the detective?
Yes. That's who it was. I forgot his name because it's been so long.
Yeah, Laren Kivahal is the mage.
Kivahal.
Yeah.
And that was the one that I had made friends with. And we had set aside the
meeting at the tavern, and that you had
Yes.
sent the map. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Roland, did you tell us about the Juggernauts?
I will at the earliest opportunity, but we've been working on getting medical care for the people who need it.
People who are hurt. I also got a bunch of potions of greater healing, but don't tell them.
We'll save those for a rainy day. And I'm going to walk over to Clyde and just hold out a hand. Because I am expecting one after the experience I just had.
Clyde will take out a knife and give you a knife.
Here, finish yourself off.
They gonna put you good work here. They'll heal you. Right, Boko? Right.
Could I have one of those potions, please?
Yeah.
Really needed it last night.
Well, it's not
Thank you for
last
the
night
knife.
right now. It is a +1 dagger.
It almost never stopped being last night.
Alright, and it is a potion of greater healing that you coerce out of Clyde.
And a +1 dagger, thank you. Now I have 3.
Swimming in +1 daggers.
No, that's when I sell these violent narcotics.
So
How many of those drug vials do you have?
What's it worth to you, Boko?
I've had great success using these to save our asses.
So it's worth a lot to you, is what you're saying.
God damn it. This is not over.
Clyde just needs to get his fix at Kobold or go home, and he's currently very poor.
Drugs.
No, not drugs. Gambling. Specifically one machine. We all have to have our vices. Roland's getting stabbed in the dark.
I mean...
He's done his fair share of stabbing in the dark, okay?
Giving and taking.
So as Boko is capturing these notes for Kivahal, and some of the nurses are looking over Jasira and Felix. Is there...
I will I will go to Boko because I assume Boko kind of went off a little bit by himself for the notes.
Boko would just need a surface. He wouldn't need to be too alone.
I'm going to go over and let him know what happened. Specific of the assassins that chased me through the city and about Zane. And specifically to Boko, but I will leave this out of the story that I tell to anyone else, but I will tell him about the deal that Zane offered that I turned down.
What was the specifics of the deal again?
I asked if I could go back in time and rewrite a mistake, and he said yes, we could figure that out, and I told him to get fucked.
Very interesting.
Because time only moves forward.
Well, we know that's not true.
That is why I selected the name that I have on screen right now, though.
While you are...
If you're familiar with the poem.
Yeah. Roland, while you are talking to Boko, he doesn't make any attempt to hide what he's writing, and you get the knowledge of them finding a Mind Flayer in the sewers, killing it, and... Actually, Boko is going to lop off one of the tentacles of the Mind Flayer head and attach it within as
the way to
proof.
send a message.
I mean, we're kind of at that point.
I'm going to
Boko's
use my little like electric ability to like poke the tentacle and make it twitch.
Boko's gonna look at Roland and he's gonna say, "You know how we had called in all of our favors across the city in an effort to potentially storm the estate?
Yes.
What it currently sounds like is that that message has made it loud and clear to the ears of Galrath.
That would check with my experience tonight, yes.
I do not think we have the luxury of time or surprise any longer.
Did we ever?
No.
So what
Do
else
you
is new?
do you tell Boko about Thorn?
No. She disappeared as like she has helped me twice now, but she disappeared as soon as my friends appeared, and so I will protect her identity.
All right, Roland's going schizo, but it's okay.
Wait,
I'm a badass and I got away on my own, okay?
That's all anyone needs.
I'm trying to remember the last time we were when you met Thorn. Was anybody there? Because on my sheet, I have Soul Nullifier with 2 out of 3 charges remaining.
Yeah.
Yep, I
I
gave
don't
it
know
to
if
you.
yeah, okay, you gave it to me. I was like, I don't know how I have this, but
Yep, no, but y'all fucking left me, and I made my way out of the gate on my own ass, and found you guys alone.
I will say you tend to be on your own a lot for reasons that are
And usually you're fine.
Usually I'm better off than the party.
Hey, at least you don't smell.
I was gonna argue with you because you almost died, but so did we. So your point still stands.
Yeah, this time I went off on my own and ended up on par with the party.
How many days would it be in our timeline until the event that was going on?
It is. Well, let me look. So today is the 5th of Sithros, and the Lord's Festival goes from the 8th as well. Well, and I say it's the 5th. It's the very end of the 5th. It's really the early morning of the 6th. And the events start on the 8th. So you have 2 days, essentially. But
Today.
assuming that one of those will be a long rest, it's like maybe a day and a half.
I mean, if we go to the games and we pull a Mind Flayer head out of our fucking bag, that carries a lot of weight.
0.97 of a Mind Flayer head.
Yeah, 0.97.
You cut off a tentacle.
This was also the city that did get attacked by the
Yes. Which is exactly why, by the nautiloid, which
Yeah.
is exactly why it would carry so much weight.
Okay, and also I wasn't here exactly when the Mind Flayer died, but did the party kill the Mind Flayer in a cool way?
Renny ripped it to shreds with magical playing cards.
With my lantern, we can show the crowd how we killed the Mind Flayer.
So wait
everyone.
Wait a second. You're telling me that Renny called his bluff?
Oh god. I mean, here's what I'm thinking. Clyde has connections to some of the like higher up ruling class of the city.
Got a couple bedfellows.
Yeah, if we were like, hey, we need resources and we need them now, or we're going to put this on display in front of the entire city.
Yes.
Mass panic, like
Blackmailing the nobility. That's a wonderful
This goes
plan.
for the good of the city.
For the greater good.
I mean, very clearly, somebody is connected to Galareth.
So is there any other work or investigation or details that you have this evening before you all get a much needed rest?
I'll tell the rest of the party the story about Zane chasing me through the city, finding me at the shop and chasing me through the city so that no one else goes back to the shop. And then I'll add...
That's where most of my... that's where some of my things are.
And then I'm going to ask someone in the hospice to send a message to Sweetie, letting her know that the shop is compromised.
Okay.
And by who? If that is possible.
Yeah, I was thinking through that, but I think you would know ways to get public communication that could be coded in a way where a normal porter could carry it and Sweetie would understand at least a part of
Written
what
in
it
thieves'
would-
can't.
Yeah. In the morning, or later in this morning, you all are kind of woken up as Alistair does finally come in. And Boko, you're kind of connected.
Long rest?
Yes, you all do complete a long rest. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Long rest button.
But as Alistair comes in, he comes to.
Also,
to
by the
talk
way,
with,
the middle finger is still on the wall. It's indefinite.
I just want that to be there forever. Where next campaign, people will just be like, "Why is this graffiti middle finger important?"
We've scrubbed it so much it will never come off.
I'm sure there are a lot of those types of things in the city with the number of magically inclined population. But yeah, as Alistair comes in, he kind of goes over to Boko immediately.
Sun Tzu called me. She said that that Jasira had been affected by an illithid, and that her state was catatonic. I called in a friend that might help.
And he kind of motions in, and you see the same white robe of the individual that you had first met upon the festival. Boko, you remember seeing them when you had lit the flame. They were kind of the hosts of that party, per se. And
Do they have any reaction to seeing all of us here?
Give me.
Oh no, they knew that we represented the hospice, right?
Yeah, but go ahead and give me an insight check here. Where is my thing? So Boko, you are kind of looking over this individual. They did know the Iron Horizon, and this was Drago Sarhain, who was kind of the leader of the Silver Flame for that festival. They kind of measure up to each of you all, but kind of immediately kind of take note of Jasira and kind of move over to her aid and kind of placing a hand on her forehead. And you see they rummage in their pocket for a little bit and pull out their hand where there's just this shine of diamonds that they can see, and immediately begins to move into an incantation, casting a spell, moving the dust, kind of spreading it over some of her skin as the dust kind of falls into and dissolves into the skin. And as he's kind of working, Alistair kind of looks over you.
Drago is a powerful priest of the Silver Flame. He says that he can help. It should be but a moment before she is restored.
Greatly appreciated. Alistair.
Yes.
There's something you must know. And very quietly, so just the two of them know, Boko is going to get Alistair up to speed on the Mind Flayer, what caused her illness, and specifically its connection to the explosion in the city.
So,
and Galareth, who's responsible, of course.
What exactly do you think has happened, and what proof do you have? I see the tentacle. There is a Mind Flayer that has been dispatched, but how does this all connect?
One of Galareth's agents, officers, the connection with the desk. We interrogated them through whatever means were necessary. They were the ones that established the link. We have been working consistently on the connections between the estate and the malhappenings of the city. Unfortunately, this is one gigantic web.
So we know that Galreth or his estate is producing this narcotic, and one of the individuals that was on the estate is selling them to the Dusk and apparently is involved with this explosion. Galreth's connection is circumstantial at best, but this individual can certainly be brought in with the full force of the law. Do you have any insight into where this Zane is? They seem to be our
not
best
at the moment.
culprit. And you've shared with us with the investigators?
Yes. Broko says, I sent a letter last night. Hopefully by this morning, it should be in the hands of the guard and the detectives who are investigating the explosion.
Good. So then what is your plan? Are you able to be done? Leave this all in their hands to sort out?
I wish it were that easy. Unfortunately, we still must take this on.
And what exactly is your plan? It will be hard to move against Galreth without solid proof that he as well is involved.
This is true. Unfortunately, the last time we shared our plan, it made it to Galreth's ears regardless.
Is Roland anywhere nearby this conversation, or is he taking him fully aside?
It probably would have been... Boko would not shy away if you had approached.
Okay. If you want to prove Galreth's connection to something, I know someone who is connected to him. Apprehending this person could provide evidence under interrogation and would take a weight off of my shoulders.
Who is this?
Zane. I know for a
where
fact
he is?
I know he's looking for me.
Roland, are you volunteering to be bait for a trap?
I would love to see that asinine saccharine smirk fade to fear.
You can see Alistair is kind of quiet, seeing the intensity in Roland's response. But after a moment, he kind of speaks up. Perhaps if you have sent a letter to the investigators, they may be able to help you if you are intent on setting up some sort of sting operation.
I suppose it is potentially time for us to make our association with this investigation known. Of course, I will leave it to my friends. This is not a decision I make by myself.
Perhaps we make it known after the sting. Might be easier to draw him out if he thinks I'm still alone. Or we stage a very public, falling out. To convince him that I'm alone.
Hang on one second.
Just hear,
Fuck!
Oh.
I was looking for an item in my inventory, and I think I left it on somebody. I was looking for my jade shackle. God damn it! I left it on Bloodbane. Boko will ask Alistair, do you happen to know anyone who works with jade?
That is quite a rare material. There may be some artificers in the city who have trace amounts, but they'd be loath to give it up.
Anybody that comes to mind?
My best guess is that if you're trying to get any materials that are difficult, the House of Inspired Hands is always going to be your best bet. Now that the quarantine is over, I believe that they're rebuilding the temple, so there should be quite a few artificers that are there on any given day.
Roland slowly grins.
Perhaps it's time to go make some friends. Although I do not believe they will be too happy to see the two of us.
Excuse you, what do you mean the two of us?
You know what I mean.
I think that if we both walked up at the same time, the net reaction would be neutral. You would be carried off by guards, and I would be welcomed with open arms.
Boko looks like he's gonna say something, but doesn't. Sounds like we have a plan then, at least for today.
At least for today.
Roland, do you think Zane would know if we were to scry on him?
Zane knew a lot of things that I did not expect him to know. Whether that was by innate ability or provided to him by someone else, I do not know. I do not know if it is worth risking.
Boko nods. Very well. Let us come up with a plan. Boko's going to start moving towards the rest of the group.
Jasira, the last thing that you had experienced was this darkness that washed over your mind for but a moment as you felt all of your willpower, your mind fade away. You found yourself back in this strange place, this burning castle-like building. Your body clothed in a gown of red and black. It shimmered and reflected the flames. There are illusions woven into this cloth that give the red pigments the liquid intensity of fresh blood. Red leather covers your arms and legs, and you have these tall thigh-high boots that stretch up underneath your skirts. Those gloves that rise past your elbows, and fingertips that reveal these long, curved nails painted with black enamel. You are moving through this warm environment of fire and heat, and you feel powerful. No, your body feels powerful. You are but a passenger. A mind that is completely weak and passive, being drifted by a body not under your control. You remembered this vision, this thing that you had seen before. This castle in ruin and flame. And you standing above some sort of knight. Armor that is creased and calloused, gashed and singed. And the man that looks up from beneath his helm and just calls out through a hoarse voice. Why? To which you find yourself responding without even knowing where that voice comes from. It emanates from deep within you. Because it amuses me. This isn't about you, little prince. I don't care about your kingdom or you. You feel the blade in your hand playing across the metal plates of the armor. The man curses you, fiend, under his breath, and you find yourself rolling with derision. You know so little of the world. I am no fiend. My kind bound the demons at the dawn of time, and I'm more than any pathetic devil and greater than any of your gods. Look at your people, so devout, so confident that their goddess will come to their defense in their hour of need, yet here we are. I've burned your hall and your holdings. I've devoured those you love and savored the taste of their blood. Your dull aura is the sovereign of the sun, but my fires have sent the sun into hiding. Now we will see what path your people will take when this pillar is broken. Shall they cling to their faith even when the sovereigns leave them to die? Might they embrace a new mystery or take up the banner of those death worshippers to the east? Or will they worship me, I think, raising altars to the angel of flame? The man speaks out, still breathing beneath. The sovereigns with us, they know we'll punish. And your voice cuts in again. If any god was going to punish me, it would have happened long ago. You are alone in this world, prince, and you will go alone into your death. No realm of glory awaits you, just the slow dissolution of your memories, of everything you are. You should be grateful. You won't have to remember how badly you failed your people. How will history remember you, I wonder? Will your people create some glorious death for you, pretending that you gave your last breath locked in battle with a mighty monster? Or will some sage piece together the scene, a broken man slain with his own sword, begging for mercy amid the wreckage of all that he loved? I am greater than any of your gods. Now we will see what path your people will take when this pillar is broken. And she flicks open in one quick move. Jasira, as you twist the blade, it cuts into the neck of this individual and rips off the helm. And as it flashes, you suddenly come to and see the face of Drago Sarhane standing there over you. He's looking with a warmth as he slowly runs his hand across your forehead, dissolving the last of the diamond as you come to. Your body is violent as you come out of this comatose state, and he kind of holds down for a moment. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Are you okay?
We need to stop meeting like this.
You didn't go through all this trouble just to see me again.
Sorry, no.
Are you alright? Any soreness in your head anymore?
Just a strange dream, I think. I don't remember much.
Is there anything that you do remember? Dreams can sometimes be powerful portents. I often see much in the flames that the silver flame is willing to reveal.
Something about, honestly, this kind of badass person slaying gods, and honestly, it was a little gruesome. I don't recommend looking into it. But...
Dreams of a conqueror.
Oh.
Perhaps
Yeah.
you're looking for your own bit of power or circumstance? I imagine one of your kind may
Perhaps.
feel at times out of place. Perhaps I can help show you around the city sometime. Ease your mind.
Perhaps. I think there's quite a bit going on in the near future, but soon?
Yes, of course. Well, I had been meaning to drop by your store. Perhaps I will I'll make it a time and we can give it perhaps after the Lord's Festival and things calm down a bit.
That sounds good.
Sorry.
She's just kind of nervously looking around a little bit, just like, oh god, what did I miss?
He kind of steps back, and Jasira, you look, and to your right, you see another young man kind of bandaged up with orange hair, kind of a little woozy, but seems to be in a stable state. And he's looking next to him. You see the dressed very elegantly, someone who shares a lot of physical resemblance, though it seems more coincidental than familial, between this man that you know as Renny and apparently this friend of his known as Felix. And quickly as Drago has kind of stepped back and Alistair, you see Boko and Roland, the Schalt, Renny kind of moving in to kind of check on your status.
So how'd it go?
We are alive.
You got your brain at.
That sounds about right.
But it looks like you got better.
Got better.
God damn it.
Better.
Pretty well. Oh. Do we have all of our proof? I know we were looking for that.
Yes. We did have to release the soul of the orc you captured.
And Boko,
Bummer.
as you say this, you look down. The gem on Jasira's necklace that you replaced, it still has the light of a soul within it.
Could Jasira just kind of like touch it, grasp it, and see if she can sense a soul inside? or if it is just now a gem.
Yeah, Jasir, you feel the power that you have the possibility to draw on and pull out and use. It feels like a gem that is filled. You don't notice any difference than what you remember whenever you placed it in there.
But we saw Grimshar's like fire leave, right?
You
Like we
saw
freed
it, you pulled it out of the doorway that the figure had opened for you, and as it had burned and left, that figure had closed that door back. So it came out and went back away the same way that it had come in.
Oops.
It seems
So
okay.
that figure.
We should-
Hmm.
We should probably release that soul and keep our word. He did.
Did you say I was gonna do that?
I may have promised him to release his soul if he gave us information regarding the explosion within the city, which he did do.
How very noble. Okay. I've never really released them without getting some kind of perk before. So she'll just kind of lift it up, and she's just gonna kind of crush it between her fingertips. And we'll just say she's good at perception today. Why not? Let's use that. Just kind of.
There's this energy that surges up as that soul washes over your body, and there's a moment where this small little green light surges up Jasira's arm and kind of passes into her eyes, and her eyes have this greenish glint before it fades. Boko, you know that the soul was used here and it's still kind of bound, but this is only temporary, and this will allow it to be released however Jasira's magic works.
Boko feels slightly less guilty.
It's just the intermission of freedom. He'll be fine.
The intermission.
Yep. But how guilty does Boko normally feel, though?
Not.
So you feel even
Really?
less guilty?
Boko is.
I find that hard to believe.
Negative guilty?
Boko felt guilty about getting Jasira's mind eaten,
Yeah.
but not much else.
Interesting.
With all these
Certainly
close
no
calls,
guilt feelings.
I might need a will. Roland, real quick, you read.
You read. You know what these scribbles
Multiple
mean, right?
languages, yes.
Have you ever heard of the Sovereign of the Sun? Does that ring any bells?
I imagine that relates directly to a member of the Sovereign Host.
Yeah, the sovereign host is very familiar for anyone on Corvair. Pretty much anyone outside of maybe Boko immediately knows that refers to the sovereign Dolara, who is one of the sovereign hosts.
Okay.
What about the
Dolara, member of the Sovereign Host, one of the reigning deities of the land, one of the most recognized religions in this area?
You say to the foreigner.
That's right. You're not from around here, are you?
No. No, far from it.
And also,
Do you
by the
know?
way, by this area, I mean this continent.
I'm from a whole different world, you know. So, are there any
You could have at
like
least learned a few of the customs before you
stories?
got here.
Well, you see, I got out and then I basically was sent to work. So, ooh, doing illegal shit. But are there any stories associated with that? I don't know, like maybe legends or tall tales that talk about like a prince being slaughtered or his whole kingdom burning or anything like that. Is that a thing?
For example.
Just
For example.
A prince related to Dolara being slaughtered. Have I read of this in religious
Or know of
texts?
any legends or, yeah.
History check?
yeah, give me a history check. We'll see what you got.
I now finally have time to give myself guidance on a check, so we'll go ahead and do that. Solidly average and low, 20.
Average and low. So there are a number of princes, many of which have had some relationship with the sovereign host. As far as kingdoms that have been burning, you kind of think back. I mean, there was a lot of fighting in the last war, a lot of different noble houses. There's likely some connection there. I mean, there's gotta be multiple instances of nobility who were involved in combat or had part of their lands burned in the last war. But it's got to be at least a dozen or so instances. You might need more to really dial in on specifics.
Okay. Tell me as much as you can remember while we're on our way to the library.
I might be a little slow, but sure, I'll try.
As you all kind of begin to travel elsewhere in the city, Morien, you had found your way with Redbeard back to your safe house for the Verdant Vale and enjoyed a well-needed recovery. And then
Who all is there?
when you get there, not much of anyone is there. But by the time you kind of awaken, rested, you see Garrick, you see Alma kind of looking over you. Alma's kind of putting a hand on your shoulder. Are you okay? What happened?
So I look around. It's just Alma and Garrick are here?
At least right now, yes.
Morien looks at Redbeard, looks back at Alma. Does anyone know where Zane is?
Alma looks over. I don't think I've seen him since we all departed. The last I think we saw him was when we all came out of the building. Garrett kind of nods.
It's been longer than that since I've seen him.
So, what? And Morien will make a sign that kind of Alma and Garrick would recognize from before we were the Verdant Vale. It's just a recognition sign, nothing more than that. And they look over at Redbeard. What do we really know about Zane?
I've been asking myself that question since we
the
first talked with him.
seventh eye.
Yeah.
But looking at Alma and Garrick, what? I mean, we were together before we met up with Zane and Redbeard and Maine. Redbeard, how long have you known Zane before we all became a group?
Maybe a few months. Zane was like me, I think. Trouble kid who was helped out by Maine out of a tough spot. And I think he felt like he owed him something, but I never got the sense that he was a bad nut, you know? He seemed, I don't know, he seemed like a kid. Honestly, sometimes so did I. We got into trouble, we butted heads, but we always figured out our stuff and kept us in order, you know. We started taking care of low-tier adventure stuff before we met all you. We started to get more and more familiar with it, started to get bigger and bigger jobs as we made our way through. Started to need more folks, and that's when we met Andy. I think Andy knew you all by then. I think it was Zane who actually introduced us to Andy.
I hate to say it, but I don't feel safe here. And I am going to cast Detect Thoughts, using it to detect the presence of thinking creatures I can't see within 30 feet.
You kind of send out this presence, and at least as far as you can tell, the four of you are the only ones in this space.
So over the past 2 days, while we've been hanging with the Iron Horizon as agreed, it is pretty clear that Zane is very, very deeply involved in what they are investigating and trying to combat. And we're talking drug and people trafficking and experimentation on people. And really some pretty ugly stuff that I saw in their minds.
Morien, do you remember where we got the guidance to keep an eye on the Iron Horizon?
From Zane. Zane said that there were some new folks in town and we should keep an eye on them. And I gather that they encountered, But the thing is, so Zane, the three of us were going to hang with the Iron Horizon here for a while, and Garrick, you and Zane were going to be our oh no, it was Redbeard and Zane. We're going to be our backup. No, I was right the first time. Garrick and Zane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be our backup. I mean, I've been to that. I went to that tower with Zane twice. I didn't see anything, but maybe I don't know what Zane was looking for.
What if he wasn't looking for anything? What if he was making sure there wasn't anything to find?
Zane knew I took the book.
Did you give him the book before you handed it off? Is there anything that he could have removed or altered?
I don't think so. Redbeard, I think I had you. Who did I have fetch it for me?
That was me. Garrick kind of.
Oh, yeah.
We made the handoff to it, but it was sitting in here for some time before then. Redbeard kind of speaks up again. I think it's clear at this point that we know that we've been manipulated by at least Zane. And to be honest, I don't know how involved other people are. He looks directly at you, Morien. Do you think that we can trust Andy still?
Morien gets a really sick look on their face. Gods, I hope so, but I don't know. I've seen her only once very briefly since the gala. What does this mean for us? What do we owe loyalty to Zane? I mean, he hasn't confided any of this to us, so I tend to think not.
Hells no. What he's doing is far beyond anything that we've signed up for. I feel betrayed, as if someone that I've been trusting my life to has been taking advantage of me. But that does not mean
even
that
though we've not been directly touched by it.
But we've been helping. We've been spying on these people. We've been shepherding them around to different things. I don't know how many of the assignments we've been given are related to any of this. If the entire reason that we're watching the Iron Horizon is because they got involved too closely in whatever Zane's pulled up in.
Zane knows we were going to the smugglers.
Yeah. Morien, I don't know exactly how to tell you this, or if I even should. It was a long time ago. Maybe like, I don't know, 2 years, maybe more. We had just, we were working well as a team, starting to trust each other. And Andy needed some help. She said that she just wanted somebody to watch her back while she checked out someplace. We went around to a few different buildings. She spent maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in each one. All of them were empty and abandoned. And one of them was that wizard tower that blew up.
Just you and Andy?
Just me and Andy.
What did Andy do there?
I don't know. She just wanted me to keep watch. She told me not to tell anybody else, that it was something that wasn't... She swore it wasn't dangerous. You know, it was almost long enough ago that I had forgotten, but with all this, I can't overlook coincidences.
So Morien looks around, looks very intently at each person individually. Are we in this together? The four of us?
Redbeard kind of gives a slow nod.
I think that we've been through enough that I see that you're as surprised as all this as anyone.
He looks over at the large hulking individual, and Garrick kind of just cracks his metallic knuckles.
I don't know what this is, but if it's dealing with moving people, that ain't the kind of trouble that I'll get up to. I want nothing to do with that. And you all have done right by me. If there's anything you need, I got your back.
And Morien, your eyes finally fall to Alma, who has been, again, strangely silent in all of this.
Alma?
I don't know what to say. I trust Andy with my life. She never hurt me. This was all really scary. You guys are my friends, and you guys sound like you're about to go to battle. I don't know what you want from me. Morien, give me an insight check.
Yes.
You know Alma, and Alma often gives off a ditzy demeanor, but you know there is more intelligence there that meets the eye. But right now, you can see that she is certainly keeping something to herself.
Alma, do you know anything related to any of this? About Zane? About Zane's activities? About...
No, I didn't know anything about Zane or what's going on. I didn't know that he was hurting people, or that any of the stuff that you guys are saying. I wasn't involved in the decision to determine that we needed to watch these other people. I didn't know anything about what Zane was up to, for sure. And I definitely am not okay with it. That much I know.
What do you know? And God help me, I am going to use detect thoughts. What do you know about Andy? Whether she has investigated anything about Zane, whether she has done anything that might indicate, that might give us some sort of clue about where she falls in this.
Morien, give me a persuasion or an intimidation check.
And normal, yeah, I'm on normal.
Alma begins to, for lack of a better term, pale beneath your gaze. And
Morien's being clear about it. I'm not being subtle or anything about it. So everybody in this room knows I'm reading her. And she knows I'm reading her.
She begins to kind of weep. And it's not this soft crying, but this kind of baleful, ghostly moaning. Auntie was the one that saved me. She was the first one that protected me. And you see this flash of this darkened space. Torches, but of red flame. Cloaked figures. She was there when I woke up. I don't know what happened, but there were people that didn't like whatever had happened to me. And Morien, you see these cloaked figures, these dark red and black hooded figures gathered around some sort of stone altar, stone piece. There is a woman, a girl on top, a white dress, some sort of ceremonial flowery garb. You start to see the tattered, ghostly, pale, white blue dress that has been affixed to Alma's form as long as you've known her. You see the old twigs and flowers that are spread through her tousled hair. When I woke up there, they were all looking at me, but they were arguing, they were angry, they wanted to send me back. Andy was the only one who wanted to keep me safe. You see flashes of arguments between the figures, between these different hooded entities. You see one that has that same red hair of Andy, but it looks so foreign to you. Underneath this hooded cloak, there is this snake-like mask, these green scales that cover her face. But you can see almost these flashes of these arm movements of angry bickering back and forth over this figure. You can see these flashes of this woman that you know must be Andy, arguing with other hooded entities. They were trying to put me back or to send me away. I don't know which, but they weren't happy about it. They knew that something was wrong with me, and only Andy wanted to find out what it was. She was the only one who offered me any sort of, I don't know. All I know is that she kept me safe. You see these flashes again of blades, of blood, of spirit, of magic. You see this ghostly apparition of Alma. You see these dark red lightning like magics trying to bind her. And you see that individual with the green scaled mask stepping in front, arguing once again, pushing away, and guiding that specter that looks terrifying. It's Alma, but it's the sunken features are there. The form is monstrous and ghastly. This is a specter from somewhere far. It is not the soft-featured Alma that you know now. But this figure raises a hand and softly guides Alma. You see that the anger of the spirit, it softens some until the long clawed fingers shift into a soft hand of a woman. Grasp hers. The green scaled masked individual guides it slowly before the vision kind of fades and you're just left with Alma's sobbing. The last thing that you see before it finally fades to black here, you see other figures, other faces, other masks. Some of them look like skulls with dark eyes. Some of them are splattered with blood or even affixed with bones or metal. Some of them are not masks at all, but look to be real skulls underneath the hoods. And as that figure with the green scaled mask walks away, guiding Alma, you see that she encounters two other figures. One that has the form, the aura, and the dagger that would denote them as Zane, and one that pulls their hood back to show that it's the face of Maine. The leader of this group, though rarely active and seen. I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's episode. And we'll see how all of these revelations and threads come to a head, either at, before, or after the Lord's Festival. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.